So hopefully this will solve my lighting problem. Hello, and welcome to my 5th review. This one is for sleater-kinney's 5th album, All Hands on the Bad One. It came out in 2000. One of its main themes is sexism. Corinne also started doing this cool thing where she would sing as a character. And we'll see that in the first song on this album, which is Ballad of a Lady Man. It already has those interweaving guitar parts, but it's a little bit jarring to me. I don't like that weird thing where she goes from quiet to loud really quickly. I guess I understand it and it definitely conveys her anger, but for me that's just not something I would want to listen to. The chorus is definitely catchy. This part is definitely really good too. The vocal parts go together really well. Now, I don't really understand why the claps are in here. It's just very out of character, as well as the ooh-wah-oohs. I like how they sound, they're just not what I expected. The verses are sort of jarring, but I do think it kind of gets the point across. The chorus and the bridge are definitely really catchy. The next song on this album is Ironclad. This part sounds like a waiting screen in a video game. It's not even close to the most powerful song they've ever done. We've all heard Corinne really emote. In those choruses, she's not reaching her fullest potential of emotion. The guitar part hits really hard, and that kind of matches Corinne's hard-hitting voice. Even if it isn't to her full potential, it still really shows how well she can emote. It kind of goes hard, and it's really fun to sing along to. The bridge is also really good to harmonize with. The next song on this album is All Hands on the Bad One. The whole guitar part just feels like I'm waiting for something interesting to happen, and nothing ever gets more interesting in this song. I like the harmonies for sure. I liked those lyrics. I really like the drums in this part. They kind of serve as a melody in and of themselves. That sort of whining voice in the background just does not do it well for my ears. All hands on the bad one. You think it's over, but it isn't. They have more of the same. The actual ending is just so much weaker than the ending could have been had they ended it with the all hands on the bad one. I just feel like they could have switched those two parts. Also in that song, the guitar and the vocals fit really nicely together. That song is nice to listen to, but it goes on too long for it to be that mediocre. The next song on the album is Youth Decay. This is the type of content I signed up for when I started to listen to a sleater-kinney album. This song really pumps you up. It's so exciting to listen to. It's fun. Corinne emotes really well. Carrie's voice underneath Corinne's voice beefs up the song. You heard how good it was. I don't have to explain that. This song is also about sexism. It has a lot of food and mouth and rotting imagery, so make of that what you will. The next song on this album is You're No Rock and Roll Fun. harmonies in this are honestly really sick. I love You're No Rock and Roll Fun. I've listened to it so much this year that it was on my top 100 Spotify songs. It's so incredibly fun. Sometimes it's just hard to reconcile that song with the band. It's totally something they've never done before. It's refreshing, but it's also confusing. Where did it come from? For this song specifically, I'm really glad they went out of their normal style. It pokes fun at the fact that much of the rock and roll world is male. The next song on this album is number 1 must-have. I say this about so many songs, but in this song you can really clearly tell how frustrated and angry Corin is. Now this part kind of sounds hopeful, like we can get through it. Corin's mad that the commercial world is kind of taking this whole feminist girl power thing and turning it into a thing where you have to buy stuff instead of just focusing on the number 1 must-have, which is that women everywhere are safe. The amount that this song is still relevant today is scary. It's not like catchy or anything, but it's still a great song. The next song on this album is The Professional.
The Professional.
I love this guitar part too. Awesome inflection on Corin's part.
The Professional.
Everything in this song is really fun. The melodies are just really cool to me. The chorus is also so catchy. I totally love all the guitar parts. It goes so quickly and it packs such a big punch. It's kind of like the combination of the punkiness of Youth Decay and then the super catchiness of You're No Rock and Roll Fun. I kind of love Carrie's voice. I'm glad that it also gets a chance to shine. The next song on this album is Was It a Lie? Already, the interweaving guitar parts are both really good for each other. They build together really well. It's really hard. This song is really sad. I heard that this song is about how Corin was in a bar one time and on the TV they were showing this video of a woman getting hit by a train and they played it over and over and over. She wrote this incredibly upsetting song about that experience. I think this song definitely achieves its effect. The next song on this album is Male Model. The duality of voices in this. Carrie saying, "Show me your riffs" in that. So cute.
Now do you hear that sound?
Why does she go up so high? I don't know. How stupid is that song? Maybe just a teeny bit. I really love the verses. The chorus is weaker than it should have been. This song obviously tackles some of the same themes, modeling oneself after a man's example. I like how done Corin is. She's super sarcastic in this song, and she's super clear about not wanting to be measured by a standard that she does not care about at all. It also has really nice drums. The next song on this album is Leave You Behind. It kind of has that nice bouncy guitar part. The chorus is so sad, but then back in the verses it has this nice bouncy guitar part which is much happier than the chorus is. I think it's sort of Moving on. I also like Carrie's voice in this song because Carrie's voice lends itself to being sort of resigned and accepting and ready to move on after wallowing for a second. And I feel like that's kind of the mood of this song. Because Korn's voice in this chorus part, she's really bringing the sadness. What is with those dings? Those like xylophone-like dings? I don't understand. I do like that bridge too, where she says there's nothing left for you to lose. It's very pretty and very weaving. It has sort of a bittersweet feeling to it. I feel heavy, but I also feel like I'm accepting it. The next song on this album is Milkshake and Honey. I like that guitar. So this is Korn kind of putting on a character. That was funny. Are we making fun of France? That line is funny, but the way she says it is creepy. I don't like the ooh-ooh-oohs. Definitely do not like that. I feel like I'm trying to scrabble up a very gravelly cliff with my bare hands and I keep sliding down because there's nothing for me to hold on to in that song that makes sense to me. That is horrible. I cannot listen to that. It makes me extremely uncomfortable. I've been told that this song is supposed to be humorous and show that the band doesn't take themselves too seriously. Effect achieved, I guess. Korn does know how to get into character for sure, and that much I can appreciate. The next song on this album is Pompeii. Now this is a guitar part I can get down to. I have literally zero idea what this song is about. I don't understand what Korn's weird, like, little vocalizations in the background of that guitar part are. The vocal parts in the verses definitely don't go together as well as other songs. They're not like this. They're just, like, next to each other. I don't understand why Korn is cooing. It makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, so really what I like about that song is just that one groovy guitar part and then the bridge. The rest of it is like, okay. The last song on this album is The Swimmer. I feel like the balance is off in this song. She's a little too quiet for my taste. So this song was inspired by this interview that Carrie saw with this long-distance swimmer. She felt like she was her true self in the water. So this song is kind of about going to a place where you can find and be your true self. That song is just a little bit too long in my opinion. By the end of listening to it, I just feel sort of mellow. I don't know if that's good or bad. All hands on the battle. In conclusion. In Carrie's book, she says that after the hot rock, which was so fractured, on this album they kind of came together again and did something very unified. It's the antithesis of the hot rock, but it's akin to the hot rock, with its sort of melodic stuff. Sometimes it's just hard to see the band's identity in these songs on this album, even though I can see it. I definitely like a lot of the things that came out of this album. For example, You're No Rock and Roll Fun, an absolute bop. Youth Decay, an absolute banger. But everything on the album is kind of really different from one another. You're No Rock and Roll Fun and Youth Decay, they don't sound like they've ever even seen each other, or heard of each other, or read each other's names once. Also, a lot of the songs on this album are just not that interesting. This album, in terms of hits and misses, it has some major hits, but it also has some pretty mediocre misses. In general, my feeling on this album is it could have been a lot better than it was. Really, thank you so much for watching and sticking through to the end. I really appreciate it, and see you next time.